Today it looks like we're going to be working on Eleanore for Glenn. What I'm going to start with is the patchwork that's already been done that actually is a level. I'm going to go through and cut it back, pull the metal back up to get everything even so we're not putting a lot of patchwork and fiberglass in it. Then we're going to come across the tops of the doors, get all this smoothed back out, get all the welds straightened up, try and get all this pulled back to where the door frame is all nice and smooth. We're going to try and make it pretty to where we use as little filler as possible to make everything nice and straight. Get everything ground down. We'll do a little fitting at the end on each end of it as we go. That way we have a beautiful repair. Get everything turned down as low as it'll go because the metal on this vehicle is really thin. Anything more than our absolute lowest settings is going to blow right through it. done is finished grinding off the top edge of the door, getting that ready to prep for a little Kevlar filler. I'm going to finish off this door. I'm going to put you a time lapse so you can see me just going back and forth between the doors, getting all these welds ground down. I got to bounce around to keep from heating the doors up too much. It'll warp the panel more. Thank you. Second door, if you look, we have some metal repairs where the metal wasn't placed even in the door and made up with the original metal. I'm going to go through, I'm going to cut it, pull the metal back up just like I did on the other door. That way our repairs are flush and we got minimal Kevlar repair or anything to do after that. Then we'll go across the top just like we did the other door, get all these welds ground down. Anything we need to weld in to fix, we'll weld. And at that point, once I get both doors prepped pretty well, I'm going to go ahead and start Kevlar and just skimming over top of the welds, get everything nice and flat.
On the 56 chop top oval, today Kevin was repairing and cleaning up all the welds, the weld work that was previously done. And a couple areas needed attention, but we knew that was nothing different than when we went into the project assessing this particular build. So today he spent time going through everything, and then before he left he just put a quick coat of epoxy back over all the work so no humidity can get in any of this. This is critical for me. I don't want nothing happening to those areas where the metal is joined together. So that is completed. The main point now is taking care of like this nasty dent that we had and still work a couple areas. We want to make sure the window channels are proper next. That's a big deal. Once those are done, we'll just make sure the left and the right match each other 100%. So overall, it was a busy day and just tedious work because you got to clean everything, you got to make sure everything's okay, and then we're going to make sure our body lines are going to be good and everything flows just nice. Both doors are equal in terms of the amount of labor involved, and it was a busy day for Kevin. I'm glad he was able to take the time on this. We still got to do the hood. The hood's over there. We have an area of ripped metal we got to weld, and then we got to do a trick with Kevlar to fill the voids in the back lower lip area. You cannot use Bondo. If you use Bondo in an area where there's a hole, it's going to fail. Bondo's only good for this area. If you have to level, that's what it's meant to do. It's not meant to fill holes. The Kevlar reinforced fiberglass that we use, or fiberglass resins with matting, that is what you use to fill voids. That is an approved repair if you're not going to weld. It just holds out great because there's no talcum powder in it, there's no polyester resins, there's no dieback in it. It forms a structure. So bravo, that's what we use. But in terms of like leveling areas and stuff like that, as long as there's no holes, you're good. But if you have holes, don't use Bondo, because any moisture that wants to get to it, it will ruin everything. It'll spider out underneath and blow off the car. So Bondo's a great product. Never hate the product, but use the product properly. It'll last you a long time. The work that was in this that we pulled off was well over 20 plus years old, and it held fine. There was a couple of layers of moisture, but for most part, the reason why the moisture got in underneath there is because the top coat was gone, and it was just primer on top. And primer is really bad. It's not a sealer unless you use epoxy, because that's a sealer. But 2K is really not a sealer. So there you have it. Today, we got a little forward on these. You got to see them come back from the blaster. You got to see them go to epoxy, and then Kevin do his thing. Everybody, thank you for checking in, subscribing, and watching us do what we do here at this little tiny shop we call Classic Car Creations. Until the next video, thank you very much for your time. We'll see you soon.